good day, and welcome back to A Chapter a Day. It is Tuesday, and I can say the day because I know it, July the 23rd, and we will be reading chapter 2 of Joshua. So just to remind you, Joshua is now the leader of the children of Israel as they continue on through the wilderness. For 40 years Moses led them, and then because of his transgression in hitting the rock instead of speaking to it, he was unable to go forward with them onto the promised land. But God allowed him to see all of the lands that the children of Israel would finally possess, and he died. So now Joshua is leading, and again God is reiterating his words of "I am with you, go forward, be of good courage, be not dismayed," just like he tells us today. Okay, chapter 2. And Joshua the son of Nun sent out of Shittim 2 men to spy secretly, saying, "Go view the land, even Jericho." And they went and came into an harlot's house named Rahab, and lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, "Behold, there came men in hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country." And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, "Bring forth the men that are come to thee, which are entered into thine house, for they be come to search out all the country." And the woman took the 2 men and hid them, and said thus, "There came men unto me, but I wist not whence they were." And it came to pass about the time of shutting of the gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Whither the men went, I wot not. Pursue after them quickly, for you shall overtake them. So what she's doing is giving them a decoy and giving the men a chance to get away. But she had brought them up to the roof of her house, and hid them with the stalks of flax, which she had laid in order upon the roof. And the men pursued after them the way to Jordan unto the fords. And as soon as they which pursued after them were gone out, they shut the gate. And before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof. And she said unto the men, "I know that the Lord has given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did unto the 2 kings of the Amorites that were on the other side Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom you utterly destroyed. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt. Neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and in earth beneath." Now this is a woman from a pagan culture that is telling them this, because all the nations around by now have heard of how this God of these people has been leading them to victory over all of these nations. And now it's their turn to go into Jericho. You know Jericho would have heard something. So Rahab, being a harlot, which we know is a prostitute, she heard what was going on with all of these different nations and these people. So she believed that the God that they were serving was the God. Verse 12, "Now therefore I pray you, swear unto me by the Lord, since I have showed you kindness, that you will also show kindness unto my father's house, and give me a true token, and that you will save alive my father and my mother and my brethren and my sisters and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death." And the men answered her, "Our life for yours, if you utter not this our business. And it shall be, when the Lord has given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with you." Then she let them down by a cord through the window, for her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelt upon the town wall. And she said unto them, "Get you to the mountain, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourselves there 3 days until the pursuers be returned, and afterward may you go your way." So she was a wise woman, even though she was a harlot. She gave them instructions. She said 3 days. That's maybe the time that they would be looking, and then they would return. And when they return, now you can keep going. Verse 17, and the man said unto her, we will be blameless of this thine oath which thou hast made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, thou shalt bind this line of scarlet thread in the window which thou didst let us down by. And thou shalt bring thy father and thy mother and thy brethren and all thy father's household home unto thee. And it shall be that whosoever shall go out of the doors of thy house into the street, his blood shall be upon his head, and we will be guiltless. And whosoever shall be with thee in the house, his blood shall be on our head, if any hand be upon him. And if thou utter this our business, then we will be quit of thine oath which thou hast made us to swear. So what they're saying, you know what, when we come, take this scarlet thread before we come, and you tie it in the window, and we will save you and your household. But if you don't do that, it's on you. Your blood is upon your own head if you are hurt when we come to war with the people. But if not, if you have the thread but something happens, it will be on our head. So they're just telling her, take this precaution and you will be saved. Verse 21, and she said, according unto your words, so be it. And she sent them away, and they departed. And she bound the scarlet line in the window. And they went and came unto the mountain, and abode there 3 days, until the pursuers were returned. And the pursuers sought them throughout all the way, but found them not. So the 2 men returned and descended from the mountain, and passed over, and came to Joshua the son of Nun, and told him all the things that befell them. And they said unto Joshua, truly, the Lord has delivered into our hands all the land, for even all the inhabitants of the country do faint because of us. Wow, that is the end of chapter 2. And I must say, I kind of liken this scenario with Rahab and the spies to sort of like how God removed, saved the children of Israel from Egypt, how they had to put the blood of the lamb cross on their doorpost, so that when the avenging angel came, he would pass over, and if they didn't do it, their blood would be on their own head. Very similar. I compared this. And yep, that's it. I tell you, God can use anybody for his cause. Anyone who is willing. This lady here is a prostitute. She is not seen as her behavior, her reputation, her career, her job, whatever you want to call it, is less than reputable. But in this case, there is something that she knew when she was hearing about all of the conquerings of these children of Israel over all of these nations. She came to the understanding, you know what? That God that they follow must be the God. He's not some fake God from some pagan religion like what we practice. He must be the God. So when they came, and I don't think she was expecting them, they maybe knew that maybe sooner or later the children of Israel would be across on the Jericho side. So she maybe was already preparing herself, you know. But whatever it is, God used her to save the spies, and the spies in turn were going to save her. So, with that said, that's the end of Joshua chapter 2 and the end of our reading for today. Remember, faith comes by the hearing of God's word. So until our next reading, have a great day. Take care. Bye.